Have you ever wondered if there's like one specific number that can totally reboot your financial life? And no, I'm not talking about $1 million. It's actually a number that's small enough for most people to actually get to, but it's powerful enough to change, well, pretty much everything.
All right, here it is. Something really strange happens when your savings hit $20,000. It's like a switch flips, and not just in your bank account, I mean deep inside your brain. Your brain literally stops thinking about just surviving, and that's when you start thinking about growth. This is the core shift. It's the key to escaping that trap, the one that keeps so many people just running in place their whole lives. Seriously, once you're out, everything changes. So, what exactly is this trap we're talking about? Okay, so let's start with where most of us get stuck. Before you hit that magic number, that tipping point, you're pretty much always operating from a place of financial defense, not offense. Think about it. When your savings account is hovering near zero, your brain just kicks into what you could call survival mode. Every single decision, every thought you have about money gets filtered through this lens of fear and scarcity. You're not thinking about getting ahead, you're just trying not to drown. And this creates this relentless, exhausting cycle, right? You get paid, and bam, the money's already gone paying bills. Then you spend the rest of the month just scraping by, trying to make it to the next paycheck. And then you do it all over again. It's draining. And it leaves you with absolutely zero mental energy for thinking about the future. This quote just nails it perfectly. It's like trying to plan a vacation while your house is on fire. How can you possibly strategize about building wealth when your mind is totally consumed with putting out all these immediate, day-to-day financial fires? Your entire focus is just stuck on the short term.
So, the big question is, how do you break free from that? Well, this is where that key number we talked about comes into play. Think of it as the threshold that separates just surviving from actually starting to build real wealth.
Yeah, it's kind of like an invisible barrier. Before you cross it, it feels like you're pushing this giant boulder uphill every single day. But the moment you get over that line, it feels like gravity suddenly starts working for you instead of against you. And that number is $20,000. Now, why that specific number? Well, for a lot of people, that represents about 3 to 6 months of living expenses. It's that first real milestone where the pressure just disappears. It's finally enough breathing room for your brain to switch off survival mode and start looking for opportunities. And the change in your mindset? It's huge. Just look at this. Before, you're panicked, right? You take any job, you chase any gig you can get. But after, you have what people call walking away money. All of a sudden, you're not just reacting to life. You can actually choose your path. You can negotiate with real confidence. Okay, so once your whole mindset shifts, something else really cool starts to happen. The actual math of building wealth starts to kick in. Your money basically becomes your employee, and it starts doing some of the heavy lifting for you. And the secret weapon here? It's compound interest. It's actually a really simple idea. Your money starts making its own money. Now, at first, it's just a trickle. But over time, that trickle turns into a seriously powerful force. You're not just a saver anymore. You're an owner of capital that's literally growing all by itself. And this is so important to understand. Getting to that first $20,000 is the hardest part. It feels like an absolute grind. It takes a ton of discipline and sacrifice. But here's the magic. Every milestone after that gets easier. And it's not because you're working any harder, it's because your money is. So let's look at how this actually plays out in the real world. That first 20 grand, that takes you 19 months of pure saving. The next 20 grand, though, only takes 17 months because your money's already starting to chip in. Now let's fast forward. Once you have something like $400,000 saved up, your money earns the next $20,000 in just 5 months, all by itself. See, your effort didn't change, but the results just took off.
But, here's the part that almost everyone misses. The math is cool, it's exciting, for sure. But the real transformation, the real secret to all of this, it's not actually about the money.
Here's the most crucial point of all. Getting to that first $20,000 forces you to become a different person. I mean, anyone can get lucky with a windfall, right? But very few people build the discipline it takes to save that money, to keep it, and then to grow it. Think about what you had to do. You had to track your spending, you had to say no to things you wanted right now, and you had to stay consistent month after month. In doing all that, you basically rewired your entire relationship with money. And that shift in your identity, that's the real superpower here. It's going to affect every single financial decision you make for the rest of your life. And this new identity? It unlocks some amazing new powers. We're talking about the freedom to walk away from a terrible job. You start seeing investments where you used to just see emergencies. You stop sweating the small stuff, like the price of a coffee, and you start focusing on the big wins. And you negotiate from a position of strength because you're not desperate anymore.
So, hitting that $20,000 mark, that's not the finish line. Nope, it's actually the starting line. And right here, at this point, you face a critical choice. There are two very different paths you can take.
Okay, path 1. You treat that money as a reward, you spend it. And guess what? That sends you right back to square one, stuck in the survival loop. But path 2 is seeing it for what it truly is, a foundation. This path leads to this amazing positive feedback loop, where your confidence, your opportunities, and your wealth all start to grow together. This is the beginning of real financial freedom.
And that's the thing. People who become truly wealthy, they treat that first $20,000 not as money to be spent, but as the very foundation of their freedom. So the real question, the one you have to ask yourself is, what will it be for you? Will it be a temporary reward, or will it be the cornerstone of the future you actually want to build?